Now let's take a look at the task list section. At the top, the first thing we see is the main filter for this page. In this example, we're viewing all tasks, but users can also switch between all my tasks, all open tasks, and all my open tasks. Next to the search field, we have a secondary filter. This allows users to narrow results more specifically by status, task type, due date, owner, or beneficiary. The last two filters can support multiple selections. Below that, we'll see the list of tasks that match the selected filters. In this example, we're looking at all available tasks. Each task card includes the task title and a due date chip. Right below that, users can see information such as the task type, the progress level, and the completion percentage. At the bottom of the card, we'll find details about the beneficiary and the task owner. On the right side, there is a segmented action button with the available options. The primary action in this button is task reassignment, although that can change depending on the type of user viewing this section. The secondary actions include continuing the task, viewing task details, and sending a message to the owner. We'll go through each of these options in more detail shortly. But first, let's look at the different task types currently supported by the app. The first type is an assessment. Then we have watch video, read document, digital signature, and upload document. Completed tasks appear in a gray tone. In those cases, users can only review the outcome of the task and see when it was completed. Now that we've covered the structure of this section, let's walk through each task type, starting with the assessment. By tapping the segmented button, users can select View Details. As the name suggests, this screen shows all the details related to the task. In the first card, we can see the main task information along with a short description. In the next card, we see the beneficiary's name and the people who are eligible to complete the task. If the task needs to be reassigned, users can do that using the buttons on the right side. For the task owner, the only available action is sending a message. At the bottom of this card, we can also see the task creation date and the last updated date. The final card focuses on progress, and this card changes depending on the task type. For an assessment, we can see how many questions have already been answered, the total number of questions, and how many are still remaining. We also see a progress bar and the estimated time left. At the bottom of the screen, the user can see the next question in the assessment and a button to continue. Let's continue with the assessment. This opens a full-screen dialog where the assessment can be completed. Once it's done, the user can close it and return to the task list. Now let's move on to the watch video task. Just like before, users can access it from the segmented button. For all task types, they can usually use either the first or second option. In this case, let's open the details view. If we look at the progress card, we can see that this is a new task, so the progress is currently 0. We can also see that the video is 6 minutes long. At the bottom, there is a button to start the task, along with a second option that is exclusive to this task type, View Transcript. This option becomes available after the video has been completed. To begin, the user taps Start. This opens the video dialog where the user can begin watching. Once the video is finished, the bottom button becomes active, allowing the user to complete the task. After that, the app takes them back to the detail view. Now let's go back to the task list and continue with Read Document. When the user taps this option, the detail view opens. At the bottom, the progress section shows how much of the document has been read. In this case, that means the number of pages completed, the number still remaining, and the estimated reading time. Users can also download the document directly to their phone. When the task starts, the reading view opens. Once the app detects that the user has reached the end of the document, the button to complete the task becomes available. After finishing, the user can return to the task list. Next, let's look at digital signature. We'll use the second option in the segmented button to view the task details. In this example, the task indicates that only one signature is required. To begin, the user taps the Start button. This opens a dialog that explains the requirements needed before signing. There is also a card showing the verification steps required to continue. First, the user needs to allow device location access using the button on the right. For added security, the user must also complete a face capture using the corresponding action. Once selected, the app opens a new screen that uses the device's front-facing camera. To help create a better capture experience, the screen also includes recommendations related to lighting and accessories. As the user brings their face closer to the camera, the app begins recognizing it. At the bottom of the screen, users can follow the progress of this action in real time. Once the face capture is complete, a checkmark appears in the progress area, along with two buttons. One to review the captured images and another to restart the entire face capture process. At that point, the button to complete this verification step also becomes available. Once both verification steps are complete, the user can move forward with the digital signature. On the next screen, the app offers several ways to sign. Users can choose a signature they've used before, upload a new one, draw a signature with their finger, or type their legal name and let the app generate a signature automatically. For both the draw and type options, users can also choose to save the signature for future use. Once a signature has been selected or created, the task can be completed. Finally, let's look at the upload document task. In this example, one document has already been uploaded, so the user can either remove it or preview it. For the next required document, there is only one available action. When the user taps the button, a dialog opens so they can choose the source of the file. Once selected, the document is uploaded into the app, and the user can complete the task as soon as all requirements have been met. The last part we need to review is task reassignment, so let's use the first task as an example. When the user taps the primary action in the segmented button, they are taken to the task reassignment flow. Here they can see all eligible people available for reassignment. They can also add a new person using the corresponding button. If they choose to do that, the app opens a form that must be completed. This is required in order to create an account for the person who will take over the task. Once the search is complete, the app sends that person an invitation. They will receive an email with instructions on how to access the app and complete the task. In the meantime, the current user will see that new person listed with a pending status, along with the date when the invitation was sent. At that point, the invitation can either be deleted or resent. If the user chooses to resend it, the app opens a form showing the previously entered details. This is helpful in case something needs to be corrected before sending it again. Once finished, the user can use the top actions either to send a new invitation or cancel the process. And finally, once that invited person accepts the invitation, they become available in the reassignment flow, and the task can then be reassigned so they can complete it on behalf of the beneficiary.